After a short visit to Syria, Putin arrived in Cairo for meetings with Egyptian leader Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. This is Putin's first visit to Cairo in 3 years. Remember, Russia had suspended flights to Egypt in 2015 after the Islamic State bombed a Russian airliner. The visit also is being seen against the backdrop of the United States deciding to shift its embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Vladimir Putin is likely to take up the Jerusalem issue during his visit to Turkey as well next week. According to Turkish presidency statement, Putin will visit Ankara at the invitation of President Erdogan. Last week, US President Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital amid intense criticism from world leaders. Joining us live on the broadcast is Daria Bondarchuk. He's joining us from Moscow. Good evening, Daria.
Good evening.
Yeah, so Vladimir Putin is now visiting Egypt, and he's having meetings with the Egyptian top brass, and this meeting is happening after a long time. And Russia has had a tumultuous relationship with Egypt in the past. How do you view this latest visit of Vladimir Putin to Egypt?
Well, the timing, of course, is very interesting. As you noted, it comes just days after this major shift was announced in Syria, with Russia's defense minister last week saying that Russia's aim in Syria is completed the defeat of Daesh, and today Russia's President Vladimir Putin announcing withdrawal of Russian troops from Syria that will begin today. And certainly this visit comes just after these big statements, and from Cairo, Vladimir Putin will go to Turkey and discuss the Syrian issue and the crisis around Jerusalem, with the standoff between the Palestinian opposition and Israeli forces, certainly another very hot topic on the Middle Eastern agenda. But Vladimir Putin is also going to discuss a number of bilateral issues, that is cooperation in energy, and there is an agreement on the construction of a nuclear plant that had been in the works for a recent couple of years, and it is expected that this agreement will finally be inked and publicly announced. That is construction of Ad-Dabaa nuclear power plant just northwest of Cairo. Certainly there's another issue with the still suspended flights between Russia and Egypt, as Egypt was one of the top 3 popular tourist destinations, and lots of Russian tourists were bringing in their money and making their holiday spendings there. Of course, another important issue. And defense cooperation on defense issues and ensuring security and stability in the Middle East.
Right. And how likely is the possibility of Vladimir Putin actually talking to his Egyptian counterpart about President Trump's decision to shift the American embassy to Jerusalem?
Well, it hasn't been announced as the topic on the top of the agenda, but certainly it is expected here that it will be discussed, because, of course, this visit comes just days after it was announced and confirmed, just days after Washington recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Russia has called for all sides involved in this crisis to refrain from any provocative actions, and has said that this issue, the fate of Jerusalem and its future and its status, should be discussed within the UN framework created for this issue, and also during direct talks between Palestine and Israel. Russia itself has tried to project itself as a mediator in these questions and has invited Palestinian and Israeli officials here to Moscow. At some points, some official visits have coincided, sparking debates and rumors that there could be some sort of a behind the door deal going on or being negotiated, but Russia has failed to put those two sides at a negotiation table, but has in fact tried to promote the issue and has tried to offer solutions to the Israeli-Palestinian crisis, and at least a platform for them to engage in direct talks to discuss this. Certainly Russia is, with this decision, with this initiative, and of course with the announcement on the Syria campaign and the defeat of Daesh in Syria, certainly Russia is advancing its case and promoting itself as a reliable mediator in the Middle East that it always wanted to be.
Indeed. We'll leave it at that for the moment, Daria, and thank you so much for joining us with your perspective on this story.